Oh, thanks. I guess I forgot to unmute. Thanks so much for letting me know. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so where were we? We were over here. So we want to maybe await for this, and then we want to assert that it's loaded the JWKs. And I suppose we need to extract it as a variable. So we can say something like, or like assert not nil on the verifier dot, I guess loaded key set, perhaps something like that. Or maybe we'll call the variable key set. So I guess we have uncompiling code. We need to go ahead and make it compile. So let's add a field for our key set. This is going to be a JWKs. And I guess it'll be optional. So let's import JWT kit. No such module JWT kit. Oh, I missed a step when I was down over here. I added the dependency, but I didn't add it. Yeah, right here, I need to add it as a package dependency to my target. Let's go ahead and regenerate that. And Dukes asks, what are you waiting the most from WWDC of this year? I'm not sure. I've been pretty heads down with building my stuff. I don't really have a specific complaint right now. I guess in general, just further refinement of Swift UI. Some of the edges about it are really rough. Like back towards the beginning of my stream, like several months ago, we were trying to implement pull to refresh in Swift UI, and we just didn't have enough information from the drag gesture recognizers, so we just couldn't we couldn't do that. Cool. So now if I command B, it's building a whole bunch of stuff. What are you looking forward to the most, would you say? Cannot find JWTVerifier in scope. No, we made that. Return from initializer. Okay, here we go. So we can say for now, we'll initialize. So here back in the app, we have our kind of global dependencies at the top. And for now, it's just a very small sample app. It's going to be fine to put these here. For now, we'll just create one. Oh, it's going to need an URL session, but I guess we don't need it quite yet. So we'll hold off on that. Let's try building again. Let's see, and so let's see if the tests pass. They're not launch. It's being used by another running app. Oh, does my test need like a different bundle ID or something? It does though. Maybe that's just a quirk of it running on my Mac instead of on my phone. This isn't a problem when I run it on the phone. Oh look, my phone is here. So let's unlock the device and let's run this test. Test failed. Yep, that was expected. We haven't done anything yet. So let's see. So we can go ahead and get one. We can ask the URL session to fetch something. And of course, we don't have an URL session here yet. So let's add one as an initializer property. Let's say something like that. Which means we'll need to make an URL request as well. So you can say, oh, thank you so much for the follow, Jordan 99. Means we're up to 176. URL session dot, well, not URL session. This is, we're making the URL request here. And the URL is going to be, let's see, it's going to be our auth server URL, an URL relative to this, right? So let's say URL, where's the relative autocomplete? Oh, here it is. And the path, I believe, was /API/JWKs/public. And we can force unwrap that. Okay, so now we're getting some data. It's both the data and the response is how URL session works. And so we want to, I guess decode it using JSON. And we'll just save that on ourselves. Cool, so now we have a few failures now. So now we get to pass in the URL session here. We'll just use the shared one again. And actually, because I'm using it twice, I'm going to extract it as a local variable here. And what happened to the music? Oh, it's just a quietish song. Okay. Okay, so now if we command B, get an undefined symbol in our test. So let's go ahead and update our test. So this needs an URL session. And I guess this will be a fake URL session because we're here in tests. Cannot convert type of fake URL session to expected type URL session. Ah, that is true. And that's because we don't actually want to require an URL session here. We want our URL session interface, which is something that we made so that we can do exactly what we're doing, offer in a fake of a real object so we can do tests. And here's what it looks like. This is the same signature of a method already on. URL session, and it's the only one that we're using right now. So that's the only one that we need to stub out in our fake URL session. So now we got build succeeded in the middle, and we've got an error on the left. Stubs are empty. Oh, you know what? Since we haven't really stubbed out anything yet, let's use a real URL session here. Then we'll get at least we got some data we can test with, and really we just want to make sure that it works as expected, and then later we can make it ready for repeatable testing. Hey, it worked. So let's go ahead and print it out so we have a fixture that we can use. Data dots, not base encoded string. Oh, I guess it's the other way. Make a string data from the data encoding dot UTF-8. And we'll just print this and make like a fixtures thing. Oh, and let's surround it by some dashes to make it easy to find in the output. Let's see, so if I run this again, it didn't quite print here, did it? Yeah, I guess the tests sometimes don't actually print to the log. So I guess we can just set a breakpoint. And I guess we can extract this to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. So again, the goal here is we're getting this data out so we have a fixture we can use to make a repeatable test, for example, on CI. Okay, so let's hop back to the test. Let's run it again. Yay, we got some output. Okay, so let's go ahead and make like a fixtures, I suppose. And you know what? I think we can kind of put it in here. And we can block it off with an if debug, so this will never go to production, but it will be available for previews and for unit tests. So let's see. I guess we can call this an enum. Make it have a raw value, and we can say case would be the name of this sample 1, I suppose. We'll use the triple quote. Cool, so that's what our JWKs looks like. You can see it just has a public key here. We can add a little helper, decoded JWKs. And because we know this is for reals, we can just force try JSON decoder decode JWKs.self from, now because we're on an enum, we can say get the raw value and convert it to a data. Not find JWKs in scope. Oh, it will give us the import autocomplete. Thank you, Xcode. Yeah, and this is all only in debug, so that will never accidentally go to production. So now we could say something like URL session dot add stub. I want to return a body. Let's see, how does this fake URL session work again? Oh, I just add a stub, and I can say whatever status I want, and I could say an URL for it to match. Look at that, it takes an empty data. Okay. This should be passed in. We can default it to make an empty data, so I'll have the same behavior as before. I don't really care the URL, but I do care about the data, and that is going to be JWKs fixtures dot sample one, and I guess this should be, we should have like a data version of this as well, because that's what we need here. So let's head on over there and add that in. And we already have that right here. So that's easy, and we can go ahead and place it like that. Cool, so Xcode looks like it's all caught up. So now if I run the tests, oh, I think I solved that breakpoint. Ooh, I have all these breakpoints. Oh, we got unexpected. Oh, right, because this is force unwrapped. Was it /API JWKs /public? Cool, so we got to this breakpoint. We can just go ahead and delete all this and proceed. Hey, test succeeded. So this is loading it in memory. Oh, I guess we kind of just, this is like kind of the first part of this. So like we fetched the keys from the server. So I guess the next part is going to be doing something with these keys. We could work on saving them to disk, for example. We could work on saving them to the, ooh, maybe we could save them to the keychain. Hey, Bruce Leaf, how's it going? Welcome back. And I guess the login controller would probably need a reference to this to verify it. You're hacking the planet. Oh, cool. Which part of the planet are you hacking? work hackathon? Oh, I have so many questions. I want to know all about it. And maybe you don't want to talk about it publicly. Let's see. Yeah, so currently this is just called the verifier. I guess we might want to have like a verify function on here. And I guess this would be an, what do we call this? We call this an auth token, FQ session. I think we called it a user. No, that's just the one part of it. Oh, this isn't even a full JWT. That's interesting. So where were we fetching? I guess in the over here we're fetching one. Where do we decode it? Yeah, we just decode a current authorization. It's not even a full JWT. Okay, so that's a little bit of an oversight on our part. It's probably something that we want to do. Like have this conform to JWT, for example. Oh no, it has the token right on it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. But what? I guess we don't have the what it's supposed to decode as yet. So this is probably something that we want to share between the server and the middleware and the app and the app library. But for now, we will copy paste it out of the server. Let's head on over to there. I think it's called, yeah, auth JWT. Almost. It's called FQ auth session token. Yeah, so I guess let's copy this into the iOS app. Tukes asks, are you using the iPhone 14 Pro? If yes, are you using the dynamic island? This is not a 14 Pro. This is a, does it say on it? An iPhone X. Are you using an iPhone 14 Pro, Tukes? Yeah, so let's just paste this in here. This is going to be, we're going to get an FQ auth session token from here, or we're going to throw, I suppose. It's going to be one or the other. And I believe JWT payload means that we're codable. Yeah, so we don't need to say that again. And we'll stick this somewhere else in a hot minute. But for now, I think what we do to sign it is, well, first we need a token that we can use as a fixture in our tests, and a few other things. So I guess for now, we'll just throw like not verified, I suppose. And to do that, well, we need some errors. So let's go ahead and define some errors, which will be an error. And right now we just have the one, very generic. Such module JWT kit. No, Xcode keeps getting confused on that. Tukes asks 13 Pro. I asked to know if you're using the dynamic island. Do you think it's useful? I think it could be really cool. It's like another place to put like a little widget in. I don't really know how you configure it though. Like if multiple apps want to put something up there, like who wins? I think I saw on Mastodon or social media in general somewhere about someone was like, oh, here's this cool use of the dynamic island. You know, something about, I think it was some weather app. Where they were putting the weather up on the dynamic island. Which I guess is cool, but what if you have two weather apps? Which one wins? These are the questions I have. Okay, so we're building, so let's go ahead and put this in a different file. fqauth session token. So we will import JWT kit and foundation. So I guess what's next is we want to get like a, I guess a fixture, like a sample that we can go ahead and save and use as a fixture. Problem is that it's going to expire. And we only have the public key, so we can't self-sign the way that we did in the on the server side. But I guess we could store that. We could do that manually, I suppose. So I guess let's put this in a sentence. There was a lot of talking. Verify fqauth session token using stored JWKs. Something like that. And I guess what the test might look like would be we have a verifier, and let's say that it's the set is loaded already. We can say JWKs fixtures.sample1.decoded. And we want to say verifier dot. Did I not make that method yet? Oh, cannot find URL session in scope. Well, this one isn't going to be using the URL session. Oh, there it is, verify. And this wants to be a, I'm just putting this in quotes right now, so we don't annoy the compiler too much. Something like fixture dot or session token fixture dot sample one, something like that. Of course, this would throw, and we would want to say xct assert no throw. And currently this will be failing because we throw always. Cool, so we have a failing test. And I guess the next steps are, and I thought when I wrote this task, I was like, oh, we're gonna be done in like an hour or something. But yeah, I guess that's the thing with programming, because it's so specific, because it's so like unimaginably specific of all the different things that can happen, it's very hard to actually estimate building software, no matter how many times you've done it. So we just said a few things that we need to do. We need a session token fixture that we can use for tests. Yeah, let's say that that's the next thing we're doing. Let's get rid of this line here. So how can we get a sample? I guess we could run it on the phone and put a breakpoint in and copy it out, right? Problem with that is that it's going to expire, right? So let's see, let's put that on the back burner for a little bit. Let's sketch out what this would look like here. We can say, we can make a JWT signer. Do I have to build an algorithm? But without getting an autocomplete. Yeah, just sketching out what this is gonna look like. Let's command click into the JWT signer. And we can sign, we can get unverified. We can verify. How do I give it a... How do I give it the keys with which to sign with? Perhaps that's the JWT signers. And what do I do with this thing? Let's click into it. So it has a bunch of signers. Here we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, it decodes it from a string. Look at that. Oh, or it can pass it in by itself. Okay, so I guess it would be signers.use our JWKs. Signers.use our stored key set. And let's just force unwrap that for now. Then we would say something like signers.verify JWT has this thing .self, and we would call return here. And of course, these can all throw. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I think right away we can see that the signers probably wants to be a probably don't want to create one each time. We call verify. On the other hand, then we have the key set stored in 2 places. So let's hold off on that. Maybe as we continue, we'll see what we need to do. But also right here, we can see that that we're still force unwrapping here. And if it's not loaded yet, well, I guess it'll crash. So what do we want to do instead? I guess we could throw an exception to say we're not loaded. We could load. We could see how old the key set is and decide if we want to load it again. So many little decisions to make, isn't there? Again, one of the reasons why I wanted to make an open source version of this, for at least for people to have something to talk about, hopefully something that people can actually use in their apps. So I think for now we're going to throw if we're not loaded. We'll just say missing. So then we can throw something like that. And then we don't need to force unwrap here. Yeah, I've thought through this a little bit, but not all the way, as you can see. This is all figuring stuff out live, and I'm not sure if this makes sense. I think if it's missing this, like this could be an async. But then what if the network is down? What if we can't get to the network at all? It's not exactly clear yet what the best action is here. So we'll stick with throwing again for now. Walked a little bit of a circle around that decision and came back right where I started. Let's see, I guess we can ignore this. Okay, so what's next in our test? I guess we need to get an actual sample now. Oh, we can write it. Write an assertion for what we decided already. You're going to say that this asserts throwing if it does not have a key set. And we don't need a reference to that. Throw exception, or we could just say throw when JWKs is missing. Throw when missing JWKs. We could say verify throws when missing JWKs. And now what's the problem over here? Cannot find assert throwing. Okay, so then what is it called then? Assert throws error. And do we get to peek at what the error is? Let's command click into this. Oh yeah, we get an error handler. So we can add a line out here. We can say error in. We can see if they match. We can say hardlet error as what was it called? JWTVerifier.errors. Else we will fail. Unexpected error. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and print this error.localize description. And we want to return. And I suppose this needs to be a different variable name. Let's say E, I guess. Or the E is this, otherwise fail. And then we can say, well, we can't exactly assert equal, but we can switch on E. And if it gets here, this is test passes. I guess we'll just say success. And for everything else, we will XET fail. Yeah, I guess just the same message is fine. Default will never be executed. Well, yeah, because there's only one case right now, but I'm sure we'll come up with more. So let's try to run this file again. Test failed. Oh, we broke something upstairs. Malform JWT, of course. So yeah, now let's try to get a sample we can reuse. Not sure how we're going to work around the expiration claim of the JWT. Let's see, I'm thinking what we could do. Yeah, we could just sign some of our own, I suppose. Yeah, let's start with getting a sample from the app. So I'm going to run the app. I'm going to guess I want to decode it, and I'm not decoding it anywhere yet. I guess in our login controller, this is where we decode it, and we return it straight away. I guess we could, yeah, put our breakpoint here. So let's break out QuickTime Player so I can show you the phone. new movie recording. But yeah, so it kills the app whenever it does that. So, okay, so you can see it now. So let's run the app. Okay, let's bring out, remember this is just a little sample app to show that everything's working. So let's go ahead and sign out. Let's go ahead and sign in. Cool, so here we are at the authorization, so we can yoink our tokens off of here. PO authorization dot Nexus token. Cool. Yeah, so then let's stick this in a little fixture enum so we can reuse it. It'll be a raw type string. Get rid of this stuff at the top. And case, I guess, I'm not sure what to call it, just sample one for now. Will be that. And this opens up a few tests we could write. So this should at least be passing for, I think the current expiration date is like in 30 days. So we should be able to get some tests out of this. So let's call this the FQauth or F. Is it FQauth or FQ? Oh, fixtures. And I'm going to block this in debug. Don't want these to go to prod by accident. Okay, we keep getting this no such module, and then it keeps like disappearing. I guess going back, someone asked what I'm hoping for WWDC. I guess it's more robust Xcode. That would be great. Okay, so now let's try. Hey, it passed. I guess that means it verified and all that. Does a certain no throw, does this return what comes out of the expression? Doesn't exactly look like it. It looks like you call something, you don't get the output. T invert have type, which may be unexpected. Explicit type annotation. Yeah, can't exactly do that. Guess we can make some asserts on this token. Token dot I don't know. Issuer, I guess. Say equals the empty string just to get it out of what's coming out of our fixture. We're kind of in discovery mode here. We're using the test to get what it's supposed to be, because the test will help us know if it's the behavior has changed. Cool. So what else can we do? I guess at some point this token is going to expire, and we need to figure out how to manage that. But before we get to there, let's go ahead and commit what we have so far. So again, this is all open source on GitHub. You can take the code and use it in your own app, or just see how we go about it on stream every day. Fixtures for JWKs and tokens. Oops. So I think at some point we want to actually do some signing to assert that this all works. Something like sign token and verify. Because this is, as soon as whatever it is, like 30 days or whatever the current expiration is, this is not going to work for us anymore. So what we can do, for example, is we can say something like, we'll say this throws. We can get the unverified token. So this just does the decoding without trying to verify it. Oh, right, because this is right, okay. JWT signers. This is the system under test. We want to use signers to get the unverified version. Cannot find in scope. Let's go ahead and import it. And remove. Okay, perfect. So we'll say this is the unverified token, because then what I want to do is I want to, I still want to use that fixture. I just want to re-sign it so that its expiration date is updated. So we're coming up on the halfway point of the stream, so I'd like to take a quick little break, and then we'll go ahead and continue on this. Thanks so much for sticking around. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you all had a nice break out there. I refilled my water, cracked open the window. We've got sunny skies in New York today, which means it's a little warm. It's a little warm with that sunlight. Let's see, so where were we? Man, I love this song so much. iTunes suggested this to me yesterday, and I listened to it on repeat probably 10 times or so. And if you haven't noticed, it's on repeat again this stream. Happy Black History Month, everybody. And thanks for the follows. We are at 176 of 200 for the Thai stream on Twitch for followers, and we need just 7 more on YouTube for the Thai stream. Maybe we'll hit that this week. We'll see. Yeah, so before the break, we were thinking about how we're going to verify these tokens because they could expire. Like, we can't just have a fixture of a token. We need at least re-sign it with an updated expiration date. So I was thinking, I still want to use that sample, so I'm going to decode it kind of unverified, and then maybe I'll sign it myself, kind of here. Like unverified token dot expiration claim. This is a string? I thought this was a date. And plus it's a let constant. So there's, I guess we can make a little bit of a helper function to sort of copy it over with a new expiration date. Let's see, so let's comment that out for now. We'll say update expiration date. Sign it ourselves, and then call verify on it. Is that too much? Is this too much? Was this too much acrobatics just to show that our signer in fact signs? It might be, but I do want to make sure that that this is tested. I want to make sure that this function gets called during a test suite. Because if this breaks, it has a lot of implications for the rest of the app and all the libraries using the app. So I do want it to be exercised. I don't want to be just like, oh, this function works, trust me. I do want to have a little bit of a check in there. Because of how important it is, I think a little bit of acrobatics is okay here. Okay, so we don't need to jump to update an expiration date. We can kind of focus on these next two, because currently this is not an expired fixture. You just kind of want to see that these acrobatics will actually land us somewhere that we want to be. So to sign it ourselves, we need a key. Another signer. Yeah, so the way we generate a key is I have it on the, where is it? I have it on Windows. In here, in the main server, when you run this, you're going to, of course, be generating your own keys, but I've made that super simple. Oh, it's not going to show up in Xcode. Okay, let's hop over to Nova real quick. So we have some Swish scripts here, and one of them is for generating a JWT key. So you can just go ahead and run it using Swish, or you can, of course, just copy it out yourself. And because it's never going to production, this is just some random string. We can use this in our app now. Actually, let's take the base64 encoded version. I think that'll be a little bit nicer to look at in code. Okay, so let's swap back to our iOS app. And now how do we make a signer out of this? Well, for now, let's just say key is this bit, just to stick it out of our paste buffer. Now I'm going to look at what we did on the server to turn this into a signer. Let's see, where would that be? This is a public one. So here's a signer. Getting a key ID, auth private key. This is there's a loader. Did I write this? I did. Yeah, so we can get an ECDSA key and take it from there. Let's say key base 64, I guess. How do I get it from a string, though? I'm all spun around. Let me look at the code again. Yeah, so load or fatal, this returns a string. Okay, so data base 64 encoded. This is going to be this. And then value of optional, we can just force and wrap that. Call can throw. Sure. So this is the private key. And then what do we need to do to get a signer going? I think we say signers.use ECDSA. I think this was 512. I'm going to care about the identifier. Oh, this is spelling it all out fully. How do I do this? I don't remember. Good thing I can reference my own code here. What we did over here. So let's see, where is this used? Let's just go ahead and copy this over. So it was use, oh, we didn't, okay, it was not a JWK, it was a use ES512 with this private key, which is spelled incorrectly. Let's go ahead and fix that. Cool. Yeah, I guess we can call this private key base64. And we can mark it as private, I suppose. Why not? Now we can signers.sign this unverified token. We're going to update it, but for now we can just sign it. I guess this is a re-signed token. And so here's all the acrobatics. Perhaps we'll move this out somewhere. The point is that we want to call our verifier with this re-signed token and show that it doesn't throw. Assert no throw. Call can throw, but it's not marked. But I'm asserting that it doesn't throw. Whew. And I guess the other thing that we'll need to do is need to give it a key set. So where's this verifier used? It's not used anywhere till down here. Okay, cool. So we can bring all this down here. And we can make a key set using this this private key. I think. Okay, so what does this want to be? This is what we had before. Is there anything else I can initialize this with? So this is an open SSL key, and I need it JWT key, I guess. Let's see, what did I do? Because we need, I have both on the server. If, let's see, this is the signer. Auth public, where's auth public come from? Oh, I kind of build it manually. That's a little funky. Not sure how I feel about that. We can always clean this up later, right? First thing to do is get it to work. Second thing to do is to make it pretty. So we don't need an identifier, I don't think. This will be just the private key. And I think I can take this part off. Missing argument identifier. Oh, come on. Oh, good. I can pass null in at least. Yeah, this looks like a mess. Let's see. Let's pull this out. Something like this. Maybe like this. Is this better? Yeah, I think that's the one. Not sure about the name of this variable. And I'm noticing that this test isn't really using the URL session a lot. I wonder if this this class needs to be split up, or some of this functionality moved into other classes, or vice versa. So this should pass, right? Invalid JWK. Oh, didn't like this. What did I do? What's an identifier? Maybe we'll just like make one. Tomato, perhaps. Oh, it passed. It just needed an identifier. Okay, so we're signing it ourselves. We've got a key, we've got a signer, we're calling verify on it. So probably want to move some of this acrobatics somewhere else, and we probably want to clean it up a little bit too. But first, let's update the expiration date. Wait, let's just take a step back first before we plow ahead. So we're making the signers. We're taking the sample token that we have. We're just decoding it basically. Got the unverified token. Maybe we call this unverified sample token. And then we create a private key from this stuff down here. We tell our signers to use it. And then we sign the unverified sample token. And then we verify it here. Yeah, there's a lot going on in here. And I would say it's not that easy to follow in its current state. I guess we could have like a a little bit of a helper function. I guess it could take in a sample and it could take in a base 64 private key. Or should it just use this one here? I mean, we don't have a second test using this yet. So, I mean, usually that's what helps drive a refactor is you have 2 or 3 callers of a certain block of code, and then you kind of know where to cut. Here, it's more about readability than like code reuse. So it's the heuristics are, I would say, just a touch more subtle. What we want to get out is a, yeah, it's like where do we want to cut? I guess let's go back to the readability thing. What we're testing is that we are verifying a signed token. Verify freshly signed token. And the point is just to exercise the verify function. This bit right here, we're not even doing any asserts on it. We're just making sure it doesn't explode at this point. We could do some comparisons, I suppose. And so I guess what would be sort of what we want to see to show that we are verifying a freshly signed token. I guess we could have we would want like to know the sample token. And we'd want to know, we'd want to say that we freshly signed it. Resigned, freshly signed. Let's call it a token. And then we'd want to call this on it. We want to call verifier.verify, which means we would need a verifier. And perhaps this just returns like a tuple of things. We just pass this straight into here and pass this into here. And then would that make a readable test? I think so. I guess if we wanted to do some assertions on that the same stuff came out, we would need this freshly signed thing to also return the decoded token. Yeah, so taking a sample token, and it would return a tuple of the freshly signed token is a string. The decoded token would be the FQ auth session token, and the JWKs. And then we can kind of paste all this in here, and we have a fairly readable test. I guess it's weird to return like 3 things here. This is like, doesn't make me exactly happy, but it's happier than, you know, trying to parse all this stuff here. Because we don't really care how we freshly signed it. We just want to trust ourselves that we freshly signed it and we got some stuff out. So I think this does make it a little bit more readable. So let's go ahead and move forward with this idea. Let's copy all this in here. And perhaps this key can come inside here as well. And maybe this will be the decoded unverified, basically what we get out here, so we can do assertions on what came out. It's returning a whole mountain of stuff. Let's see, we can take this. We'll leave this comment here because we still need to do that. And yeah, let's just uncomment all this stuff. And then we can return the resigned token. We can return the decoded unverified sample token and the JWKs. Errors thrown from here are not handled. Well, I guess we can just go ahead and throws here. Build failed, missing argument label sample. I guess this can be sample 1. Then we can run this to show that how, well, I guess we did break something. Oh, we need a try modifier here. Yay, test pass. So we can do something like xet assert equal what would we be asserting here though? Yeah, I don't think we need to return this decoded token. And then update our return. See, that doesn't look so great. That doesn't look so great. That doesn't look so great. Did Xcode crash? I think it did. Let's go ahead and run this. Xcode wants a beach ball. building, testing, build succeeded. That's good. Hey, test succeeded. Okay. It just barely fits on one line now. Okay, so we do need to update the expiration date. So for now, I'll just do like a private extension on it. With updated expiration, I guess. This will be self dot the subject, right? Self dot device name, and then the expiration claim will be, I guess, the new expiration. And the issuer will be self dot issuer. Now let's use this helper that we did, and I guess we'll say that it expires time interval since now, I don't know, 10 minutes. And I'll make sure we use this here. And we need one more close paren here. And what else? I guess we could try running it and the compiler will tell us. Nope, we're doing good. Boom. Whew, so that was a lot. We have this big helper file, helper method here, but it makes our actual test more readable. And we get around, not necessarily get around self-signing. We do self-sign just to show that given a fresh, key that signed, everything works as expected. We exercise the verify method. Whew, because that was a lot, I think we should go ahead and commit that. We tested that we can verify a freshly signed token. Hey, look, the test name works as a commit message as well. Let's see, so we did the session token fixture. We did a whole bunch of stuff that was sort of implied by this little sentence, but not necessarily in this little sentence. Fetch keys from server and store them locally. So we need to store them locally. Perhaps in the keychain would be good. I mean, it's public, but I don't know, just having having even public keys just like floating around on the disk feels a little unnecessary, I guess. And I guess, you know, maybe it's not a good reason, but another reason is we're already using the keychain. The keychain is basically the only storage in this app right now. If we were to store it to disk or to user defaults, there's just a little bit of inertia there. So it's for these reasons, fellow sharks, I'm going to go with storing them in the keychain. So I guess we need a test for that. And I can't help but notice how, let's see, let's close other tabs. Let's open up this thing. This thing is starting to get grow in responsibilities. It's responsible for verifying stuff. It's responsible for fetching. And we're about to perhaps say also store it. Also store this somewhere. I think that's okay for now. It's kind of, this one class is doing all this one thought. I think as we finish this thought and as we integrate it with the rest of the app, we'll kind of see exactly how to separate things out. Code reuse will, or you know, who needs to know about who, I think will kind of motivate that refactoring. This refactoring here is more about readability. I'm kind of laughing because, yes, I think this test is infinitely more readable, but this is just like, like we didn't really do a good job of hiding the complexity. It's 2 lines down. Yeah, not sure exactly what to do about that, if anything. But I think that's okay for now. Oh, I mean, I guess one place we could stick this in is we can move this to the sample instead of having this function. Because what does this take? It takes only the sample. That's all that it needs. So we could move this to here. We could say freshly sign with a new expiration. And it would kind of, yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of like that idea. Because it's a fixture. One of the predictions of setting up fixtures is you think that other classes are going to need to reference this kind of stuff. So let's see. So let's import JWT kit. With updated expiration, let's drag that over. Kind of put it in this debug section. Looks like I'm missing a closing curly. Now I have too many curlies. How are we doing now? Xcode is preparing editor functionality. Oh, I just stuck it in the wrong spot. Right, and this is inside the test. Let's go ahead and delete this version. And we'll we'll say fq auth session token fixtures dot sample one dot freshly signed with a new expiration of time intervals since now. Let's do 10 minutes again. That's fine. Bring this up here. This needs just, I think because this line got so big, we need a few clarifying variables here. And I'm going to move this to the other side of the equal sign. I think it makes it slightly more readable. And I'll extract this as well. This is new expiration. And we don't need this here. Okay, fine, Xcode. I'll take that off. Yeah, I think we'll call this the token. There we go, then it's something like that. And let's run this file. Come on, Xcode. Okay, here we go. Cool, it passes. Hey, Johannes, how's it going? Good to see you again. Hope your day is going well. Cool, so let's commit that a little bit of cleanup. Move reassigning test code onto the fixture. Johannes is doing all right, and you? Doing pretty good. We just got that was a nice little refactoring we did there. We are verifying on our client side our JWTs that we get from the auth server, and I'm using JWT kit on iOS to do so, at least for now. Do you know if this is going to make us compile boring SSL, isn't it? Or will this use Swift Crypto or CryptoKit because we're on iOS? I don't mind either way. I'm kind of sticking with this for now. That would be an optimization for later either way, but I feel like that's something that you might know off the top of your head. Both, unfortunately, says Johannes. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe we'll figure out how to optimize that out later. It is definitely out of scope for our current. Not all features we need are in CryptoKit, says Johannes. Yeah. Okay, so we were telling that currently we're just storing the key set in memory, but we definitely want to persist this across launches. Probably a little bit of metadata of when we got it last. Let's see, what is on a JWKs? Just a bunch of keys. No metadata at all. Does a key have metadata? Because these, I think, have expirations, perhaps? Perhaps not. So I guess we want to say test unload and stores fetches and stores the key set from the server. I guess we want to we're asserting that it stores in memory. I guess we want to also assert that it gets stored. We thought through before. We think the keychain is going to be a great place to start for now. I'm going to show that the keychain is getting this as well. So I guess we can stick in our have a keychain fake. And we can assert not nil on it, I suppose. On keychain, the current key set, something like that. And so right away we see that this isn't defined yet. Let's head on over to where we're doing that. We have the keychain interface. Yeah, we want to put a get set for the key set. Do you want to suggest, shouldn't you also do a check if the array isn't empty? That is a great point. It will make a wonderful next assert. We can peek ahead and I guess assert false on is empty. And I guess, yeah, when it grabs it from the server, we also want to make sure that it's not empty as well. Does not equal exist. I think either way, the compiler isn't going to tell us yet because we have to define a few things first, but we'll definitely get to that. Import JWT kit. So then let's add some conformance here. Where did I stick the other keychain stuff? Well, I guess we can do the easy one. We can say var JWKs, and of course import. And then where did I put the put it over here? Yeah, I want to rearrange this just a little bit. Joannis asks, I also assume you want the keychain protocol to be in any object informing protocol. Yeah, perhaps. I'm not sure how much that that matters for this use case, but that's something I can definitely keep an eye on. keychain.jwks. So here we will import keychain access. Not mutating set. Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Oh, I do have it as any object. And this should come up here. All good. That's the fun part about live coding. Yeah, feel free to follow along on GitHub. We've pushed fairly frequently during the stream. Okay, so let's add an extension to our keychain. And this is a, we said it's JWKs. And let's see, I guess the first thing we do is define which key we're going to store it under. Hey, welcome back, SPJPGRD. We'll say this is the JWKs key. Cannot find JWKs, so let's go ahead and import JWT kit. And then we can have a getter and a setter do slightly different things. I'm going to go ahead and be inspired by myself over here in the keychain. I'm going to do the good old copy paste modify. So this is going to be a JWKs. Joannis asks, how do I like JWT kit? It's one of the library designs I'm most proud of. Well, an old colleague told me something once when we were grading like code tests for interviewing folks. And what he told me, he's like, if it inspires me to change it, then it's good code. And and yeah, I have a merge pull request into JWT kit. I added I forget exactly what it is off the top of my head, but it's back there somewhere. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I think I don't know if you saw the code for it, but I kind of do all these little things. Like they all kind of work very nicely together. Which is, I think this is kind of a vaporish thing they do, is like for database IDs, for example. So I do like that it kind of follows that pattern. My only complaint, of course, is boring SSL, but you already know that as a as you've been in the Vapor space for quite a while. And that's that's neither here nor there, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But one day. Yeah, I know it's a topic on everyone's mind. Great reminder for everyone who's not just Vapor, but also Apple and Amazon. Oh, interesting. What do Apple and Amazon think about boring SSL? I didn't realize it was on their mind. Active discussion topic. Ah, gotcha. I guess I'll do a do catch around here. Joanna says, we all want to bundle less copies of boring SSL. Well, yeah, because everyone needs it for specific crypto functions. But Swift Crypto says Joannis should be providing those for everyone once. Yeah, that's the dream. It's good to know that it's on a lot of people's minds because, yeah, just compiling Vapor, yeah, it just compiles so many times. Yeah, exactly. This should never happen. We'll just print this out for now. Self.JWs key equals this data. Cannot assign value of type data to string. Really? What is this? How do I command click into a subscript? Because did I write this, or is this an extension I wrote, or did this come with the library? I guess we could peek into the library. Oh, Command Shift J is not letting me get outside of here. Let's see. Is there a subscript function on here? There is. I guess let's just check out the documentation. That's going to be easier than looking through that. Xcode is not helping us. Keychain access, Swift. Joannis asks if I can check Mastodon. Sure. Oh, that's a fun little tweet. What's the timeline on that? Like in the next hour, in the next week, 30 minutes? I may not have something for you in 30 minutes, but I'll keep it in mind. 30 minutes or 2 weeks. Oh, cool. I mean, the biggest frustration is boring SSL, so we've already touched on that. It sounds like everyone's already extremely aware of it, so that'll be my contribution for this time, and I'll keep you updated. Thanks for asking. Let's see, where's the docs? Yeah, so they do have it. They do have data. Oh, but I guess you can't set something. Oh, no, you can. Okay. Perfect. So let's do that. There we go. Value of optional type must be unwrapped. That's true. Yeah, I guess let's just unwrap it. XCT unwrap, and this will throw. And then we can assert that the keys are not empty. And I guess we should make sure that it rejects a JWKs with empty keys. Oh, we got a fail. Unexpected non-nil value of type. Wait, how's that not expected? That's exactly what I expect. Maybe I need like a type here? Expected non-nil value of... Oh, okay. I totally misread it. Yes, so it's just straight up failing exactly how we expect it because we haven't stored it in the keychain yet. That's the thing about test driving development. It drives the development, and I got a little bit out of order there on that little side quest. I guess that's one of the motivations they say for TDD to work in smallest chunks. It's harder to get yourself out of order. But you know me, I love my alligator bites sometimes. Let's see. So we have a failing test. And I wanted to write down the next test while I had it in mind. I'll say just rejects JWKs, checks empty when empty. Yeah, let's call it that. Just write that there for us to get to. Let's go ahead and get this test to pass. So let's go ahead into the verifier. Yeah, so not only do we want to store it here, we want to stick it in the keychain as well. Self.keychain. Oh, so we don't have one. So we need to go ahead and add one up here. And this should get it to work. This should make the test pass. Let's run the file. Missing argument. That is true. Thank you, Xcode. Let's go ahead and pass our fake keychain on in. And was that a build failure or? Oh, out here in the main app, we need to pass in the keychain. And a few other spots are missing it. Yeah, so I guess these can just take a fake-ish keychain for now. And of course, let's update the spacing. And let's see how we're going. Nice. Okay. Now before we get to this test, one thing I would like to do is, I guess we're specifying a key set here directly. It would be nice if it came out of the keychain. Oh, and instead of just jumping into a task like that, we can write a test to do it. We can say on init fetch from keychain. Something like that. And this was a big chunk of work, so I think this is a good time to put another commit in. And yeah, this is basically just store the JWKs in the keychain. Okay, so we can go ahead and do this one next, I guess. Let's see. So how are we going to do this one? I guess we'll add a stub, and it'll be basically like an empty one. Keys will be an empty array. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to guard against. And let's see, I guess we're concerned with it coming out of the keychain, and we're concerned with it coming over the network. So I guess that's two scenarios. When loading from keychain, and when empty when loading from server. So for this one, go ahead and start with our fakes, and we'll just have our URL, and we'll say it's going to be the empty one. And then we'll make our verifier and call fetch key set. And then, oh, we need async throws. And then I guess here we want to assert that it's still nil. Verifier dot key set. Cool, it's failing as we expected. So let's go ahead and make it work. So if the keyset.keys is empty, I guess we want to guard here, really. I guess return. Do we want to throw? I guess we could throw. I mean, I guess it's better than just silently failing. Throw errors dot empty JWKs. And now we're going to have a different problem. This will be nil, but we're also going to get the throw. Oh, we actually, that did not fail the way I was expecting it to. Isn't that interesting? Oh, we want to guard that it's not empty. Aha. Test failed, and how did it fail? It failed by throwing. Perfect. So now it's failing how I expect. So we can XET assert throws error. And here we can kind of copy what we did down here. Oh, and hey, look, this is not compiling anymore. So let's go ahead and update this. And we'll just say we got an unexpected error. This is kind of a lot. Kind of wish there was a little bit of an easier way to do this. So we can't do equals on error. They're not equatable. So we have to, I think, optionally cast first anyway. Oh, and then I guess once it's optionally casted, then we can make our thing equatable. Okay. Yeah, because doing this switch gets really funky. XET assert equals E as this. There we go. Oh, that feels so much better. And could this be an if let instead of a guard? I kind of want to see what it looks like, honestly, because this is, I think it's going to be about the same number of lines. So it's just going to come down to readability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the exact same number of lines. Yeah, I think the if let reads just a little bit more nicely. I don't like this like return and then it like, it's like it's so small. Guards are really nice when you have like a lot of stuff going on and you kind of are reading down. But here it really is just one or the other. So I think the if let reads a little bit more nicely. And I will spell this out, actually. I think the single letter does not really help. Cool. So now up here right in here, same thing, but this is going to be empty JWKs. Oh, we have our async call here. Oh, man. All that, and we can't even use it. XET fail. Expected throw. So then we catch. I guess here we can copy paste this inside here. And let's run this one again. Very nice. So we have these two, and I guess this one, this kind of implies this. So let's do this one first. On init, we load it from the keychain. So how are we going to do that? I guess we'll have our verifier. And I guess we'll just use a fake URL session there. And here we will actually need a reference to our keychain. And we'll pass that in here. We're not fully set up yet, but the assert that we're going to want is assert equals verifier dot key set is the same as keychain.jwks. Oh my god, these are not equatable. Ooh. Well, it would be nice if these were equatable. I wonder why they aren't equatable. So it has a bunch of keys on it. Codable. I guess we could encode both of them and compare their datas. That's kind of gross, though, isn't it? That sure is gross, isn't it? Let's see, where's our test? I mean, we can assert not nil, I guess, on this. And I guess I kind of wanted to show that it was the same one that came through. The one from the keychain and not some other one. Let's see. I guess we can unwrap. And there's got to be something we can assert here. Key set dot find by identifier. Yes, then we need the identifier, so we need to know what our sample key set looks like. So let's head over to our fakes for our fixtures. Oh, and I wanted to put this in a group. I guess this can come in here also. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was seeing where our fakes are for our key sets. So this is the ID. Yeah, we can go ahead and use that, I guess. We can just, I guess, just compare the IDs for now. Doesn't exactly feel great. Call can throw, yes, thank you, Xcode. Key dot, oh, what is this? Does this not return just the one? Oh, it returns all the ones that match. Fascinating. Okay, so let's say dot first. Okay, so now we can say key dot okay, let's see how far this gets us. I think this is gonna drive us forward quite a bit here. Test failed. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we need to call it on init. So in the init of our verifier, we can say self.keyset equals keychain.keyset. I notice I'm using two different proper names here. That's something to keep an eye on to adjust. Still failed. So I think on the other keychain, we made it so that we can init it with a value. Is that true? Let's take a look at our tests. Maybe I guess let's search for everywhere that we instantiate a keychain. Yeah, this right here. Where is this defined? Yeah, I want to drag these. I'm going to drag this out. Well, let's see. Where was that? That was in... So why is this making the keychain? This should not be making the keychain. I think this was just a convenience for tests. If I comment this out, yeah, it's just here for making tests a little bit nicer to work with. But in fact, that can change also. Let's see, I kind of want to do that right now, but I also want to stay on task. So I'll put a little note. Remove keychain convenience inits. Restructure the preview to take a fake keychain. Yeah, that will feel good. Okay, so coming back to being on track. Perfect, that's exactly what I want. Thank you, Xcode, for the new autocompletes. I guess they're not so new anymore, but always appreciated because it's still feels like a surprise. I'm so used to just typing everything out. So here I can pass in our fixture. Was it JWKs fixtures? .sample1 .decoded. Perfect. That's the failure I was hoping for. And we can just copy this in. Say, hey, they're the same ones. Isn't that great? Yay. So now basically this test here reject it when emptying and loading an empty one from the keychain. It's going to be basically the same test, but we're going to assert that it doesn't load. So we'll pass in the empty one here. And we don't need this last line. This line will just be assert nil, because we're going to assert that it does not load an empty keychain, an empty key set from the keychain. Cool. So I can go ahead and change our behavior. I really wish that Swift allowed something like this. Valuable must be unwrapped. Because then I negate it, so yeah, so if it's nil, then is empty is true. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. It's just a little wacky to read. Would a guard make this look prettier? Not necessarily. It's going to look exactly the same. It's just going to have an else that returns. So no. Nice. Let's run all the tests with Command U. Okay, so everything passed, right? Even though we have these weird errors here. Yeah. So annoying that Xcode does that. Fetch keys from server at regular intervals and store them locally. So we did the fetch keys from server. We just didn't do the at regular intervals bit. So let's put that there. And we can go ahead and I think there's just a little bit of cleanup we can do before saying that this task is done. I don't want it to take a key set in directly anymore. Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to take off the field. And this should give us some failures. Yeah, so now this keychain here can take it instead. This URL session isn't used anywhere else, so we can just put that here. Clean up our spacing just a tad. Perfect. So this is the same as an empty fake keychain, which is what we have down there. Perfect. I feel like the keychain should come first, though. Test freshly. So here we can just pass this in here and remove this here. Build succeeded. Cool. So I'm going to flip the order of those parameters. So I feel like keychain is local and URL session is like going over there. So I feel like it makes sense to put keychain first. And then we'll get some build failures there. Fix, and we'll get some build failures a few other spots. Where did they go? Okay. Fix, and fix, and fix, and fix, and fix. Is that all of them? So you never know if this is just one that Xcode didn't catch up to itself with, or if it's actually one that needs attention. And I find that annoying. I wish I could trust Xcode a little bit more. Ooh, I don't like this. Do not like this at all. What could we do there? We could have sort of another helper that takes a fixture sample, something like init with sample JWKs fixtures. Not sure. Well, we don't have a use for it yet, so I'm gonna not worry about that. We'll say self.init. JWKs with the sample.decoded. Where's the build failure? Right here. Cannot delegate. Yes, this is convenience. And then coming back here, we can say the keychain will be loaded with a sample of .sample1. And look at that. That's so much easier to look at. And let's fix this up a little bit. Oh, we can reuse it right here, in fact. And again, right here, we can say that it's .empty. Look at that. I love it. Beautiful. Let's command U to run all the tests. Yeah, and we were saying that we did all this except for the at regular intervals. But we did do all the rest of that. So let's go ahead and commit. And what would you say we did here? This was, oh, we can just look at the tests and it'll tell us what we did. Verifier and itself from keychain. And rejects empties. Cool. Now we're not going to get to at regular intervals right now, but I think we can knock this out real quick. Remove keychains, convenience inits, because those should be using fakes instead. So I think it was here. Yeah, let's go ahead and delete that. Yeah, there's really no point in using a real keychain in previews. At least that I can think of right now. I think I delete this. So I think we're gonna init it with a fake keychain. Okay. So this current auth controller, yeah, it gets passed in a keychain. Keychain, fake keychain. And this will take a current authorization of this one right here. Could probably move this over to a sample. Well, I guess it's not exactly a sample. It's just fake, super fake data. And now everything should build. It does. And let's see, if I switch to the simulator, can I see a preview? Let's reload the preview. No such module. No, that's not true. Oh, it might be true. It might be true. Are you really stuck though? Seems like it is. Okay. So what we need to do is add that to the, let's see, where is our iOS app? Yeah, this Xcode gen. So just like we added JWTKit to the main app, we need to add it to, I guess, the tests as well, because we are doing some JWT stuff directly in there. So let's regenerate the project. Where is it? Swish, I think a Swish project. And then let's head on back to Xcode and try to look at, are you failing or are you really failing? Build input files cannot be found. Oh, the derived data got all messed up with there. Okay, so let's kill the derived data. And let's open up Xcode again. And let's Command B to build. Build succeeded, yay. So now let's try to find that What file had the previews we were looking for? Was it this one? Yeah. Let's try to really load this preview. Come on, previews. Come on, preview. Build succeeded. I like that. Failed to build. Like this'll just run in the simulator, right? We can hit Command R. So we're not using any dependencies here. It's just all fakes. Waiting to attach. I'm like holding my breath. Come on, simulator, you can do it. Yeah, so it runs in the simulator. What is the problem with the preview? Logged in. Failed to build. No such file or directory. I do not know what's going on there. Works in the simulator. Command U, our tests build and pass. But in the preview, even after clearing the derived data, it's still a little unhappy with us. And I do want to save these changes. This is what I want this file to look like. Are you really testing? What's going on, Xcode? Xcode is having the problems. And it might not be our fault, is the part that, going back to can we trust Xcode or not? That's the part that stinks. But I will commit this. I'm going to sort of assume that we'll get to that at some point, probably next time, because I do need to get going for now. We did get quite a bit done, even though we only have like one thing checked off. Let's see, we got six commits. We need fixtures for the key sets and the tokens. We sort of re-verified a token to show that the verify function of our verifier is exercised in tests. We did a little bit of moving around there. We're storing the key set in the keychain. We're making sure that it's not empty. And we did a little bit more cleanup. So that was a fantastic day of work. Feel really good about our progress. And I don't feel good about, ooh, Xcode is doing something. That succeeded. So now if I fail to build. Not sure what the problem is. Because this is not quite readable at all. I guess it's something about JWT kit. Oh. Oh, I bet there's something about JWT that makes it not work in makes it not work in the preview. Um, also, I guess I'll write that as a note. JWT kit. That's gonna be a huge problem. Guess we'll need to make a abstraction around JWT kit or something, because I definitely want to be using previews. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for today. You can read more about me on my website, fullqdeveloper.com. I still have not posted my schedule here, but I do have it on my Mastodon. I think on Instagram is the latest post. Yeah, here's the schedule for this week. I'll be back Thursday for more programming on this, and then Friday we have the Beaver stream, which worked out so nicely last week. Yeah, do something today that an AI could never do. Desire something, create something because you want to, not because you have to. And oh yeah, join the Discord, join the community. I'll do the command for the Discord in the chat. It's fun to hang out with folks there. And let's go ahead and cue the goodbye music. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.